doing? So I got into it with my mom today, and she told me to lose her number and don't come back. I'm tired of explaining myself about my situation, and I don't get no favors. I don't get no handouts. As much as I hand out and I do favors, I don't get that in return. I just kept reflecting on the moment, of how I felt, and I was uncomfortable being there, but I was there, and I put myself in that situation. I was talking to somebody earlier, and he was talking about how we had a whole conversation about how how, and one of a part of the conversation was about how you put yourself in situations. When something doesn't go right for you, it's a reason why it's not going right for you, because 9 times out of 10, it's all going to go left if you follow through with whatever you're not supposed to do. I could have been patient, but I let my emotions get the best of me all the time. Um, it's just, it's down my bloodline. You know, I didn't have myself, so whatever I'm going through, the people that, you know, those people that gave birth to you is accountable for whatever you're going through. So the best thing they can do is try to help you when you're going through something, and try to understand. If anybody, they would be the ones to understand. I be wanting everybody else to understand, but most of all, it's only because I really just want my family to understand what I'm going through, and I can never get that from them. Sit down, sit down. I can never get that understanding from them. So if you can't get understanding from the people of you can't get understanding from your family, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get understanding from anybody else. So it's best to just chalk it up, I guess. You know, that's just what it is. I guess now it's the time to be the power of silence. Try to be quiet and try to just digest everything that you're going through. If I get kicked out of this shelter, I literally have nowhere else to go. So it's time for me to start planning, because I don't know. My reactions are my reactions emotionally. I feel how I feel. I have not been bad to anybody, to keep getting treated the way that I'm being treated. So I don't know. It's just at that point. I'm at that point where if I get if I can't reduce my points, if I get one more write up, literally, if I get one more write up, I'm gonna give my son up for adoption, because that's just how it's gotta be. I'd rather him being taken care of, because soon I'm gonna get thrown out, and I already know what it's gonna be, because people just keep trying me, and I'm tired, and I'm tired of explaining myself, and I'm not gonna keep explaining myself to nobody. When it's clear as day as the position that I'm in, and y'all just keep interrogating me over and over and over again. So I'm gonna give him up. I'm just gonna give him up. And then if I get kicked out, at least I'm getting kicked out. I'm getting thrown out on the street. He'll be in safe hands with somebody else. And that is my decision. I got family here, but they don't care. And if they don't care, no one else cares. So that's just what it is. And that's how it's going to be. Hey, Anthony. He coming out here. He must be ready. Are you done? You done eating? Maya, what you doing? I was watching this video by Jessie Reyes, and she was explaining why she makes songs for other people, and they was getting her interview about why she makes songs for other people, and I understand completely, why she feel the way she feel, and just being happy about making those songs. That's not her songs, but it's other people's songs, because she was basically explaining that she feel the same way, you know. Just the experiences that we go through, we all resonate on the same level. We all understand those experiences. I don't know about nowadays, because nowadays people just as heartless as can be. But you can tell, like, that she's an artist that actually cares, because she wants to get your story out there, just through a song. Like, okay, you need this song sung, I'ma sing it for you, you know. And it's just, I don't know. I used to talk about it all the time. That's why I said once upon a time I said I wanted to be an artist. I mean, not an artist, but I wanted to be an actor, because um, being an actor, you can play out those roles, and it's kind of like some type of expression. You're expressing yourself through whatever role you're playing. If you're going through something, if you're going through something, you can act it out in that moment. Even if you don't know you're going through it, you know how to play that role, because it's the role of humanity. You know, emotionally, I may not feel this way now, but I know how it feels to be in this position. I know this feeling, so it's so interesting to be a rapper. I mean, a actor. You get to vent out your life through every script. You know, you can express yourself creatively. And yeah, that video was interesting, because everything she said, I was just like, yeah, she's speaking the truth, for real. And that's just how it is in songs. Like, when somebody's writing, when somebody wants you to do their song, it's like picking up that script, and acting it out, because you have that experience, whether you know it or not. Feelings are feelings. Everybody feel a certain way. Thank you, KRM. People are sheeps following the herd. I'm more as the wolf. You hunt the shepherd to eat the herd. You basically just said you don't run with the flock. You attack the flock. That's how you feel. Is that how you really feel? Your eyes are enchanting and your body is honey. Thank you. Like, when you just said that, are you feeling like angry towards people? Do you feel angry towards people? That's why you said you're more of the wolf chasing after the herd. But at the same time, I kind of get what you're saying because everybody is all in the same bowl. They all in the same circle, doing the same thing. If one person is like, basically, I'm a refer back to the work life. Okay, so you know how people is on a shift, and they all got their own role on a shift. But when something goes wrong or something happens, everybody is accountable for what happened. You know, another person, well, somebody can get into it with one of the workers, and they all gonna feel attacked. So it's like, basically, you're saying that everybody is all in the same bucket, and you're the person sitting there eating the fish because they are the fish. They are, you know your bait. And that's another way you can see it too, and that's a whole different topic. You can see them as your bait, because when you, like, who, they all know that a wolf is coming. Eventually a wolf will come, so they will be prepared, and they will attack you. you know they'll know how to attack you because you are the wolf. You're the only one that's just, they're always prepared for you. So it can go that way, or it can go like, since they're all on autopilot, you're the wolf and you're more conscious than they are, so therefore you see them as food because that's how they act. So it can go so many different ways. Yeah, I wish I felt that way about my body. I'm so insecure about my body. Um, Sometimes I can be, sometimes I'm not insecure, sometimes I am insecure. It's like a on and off switch. No, I'm not angry. I pray, I don't pray. I pray, I don't pray, period. I'm a go getter, especially when I'm hungry. Exactly. Exactly. You know, Pretty much, yes, bait is the word. Yeah, like I said, it all depends. You just gotta be careful, because when you keep doing something and you are that light in the darkness, they know how to turn you off. They know they're gonna keep aiming for that light, that specific light, because you're the outcast. It's dark and you're the only outcast, so they know how to freaking pressure buttons when you're the only one that's just out. That you're the outcast. So they're going to keep messing with you because you're not one of them. So therefore, they are the bait. They can become the bait to the situation. They can use themselves as bait to just wing you in, and then attack you before you can attack them. Pretty much. Are you married or single? I'm a single mom. Are you done with your food? Come finish eating. Yes, you is. You ain't got no more food in here. But we about to leave in about 15 minutes, so I'm gonna be on here for 15 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go. I don't know. It's just a point where everybody snaps. I feel like I snapped in that moment, and you can't control how you snap, but you snap because people just don't, they are not accountable. And even if they do, even if they know what you're going through, they really don't care. And the fact that you care is just like he said, it's just like I said, is that bait. So if you're the only one that cares, you're that only light in the darkness that cares, what do you think is going to happen? And that's the most unfortunate situation in life, is having somebody that cares, and all these arrows is constantly going after that heart, because you care a little bit too much. and the world don't appreciate you, and you keep putting yourself in the same situation with those very people that keep hurting you. You keep giving them chance after chance to keep hurting you. But what can you really do when they're not the only ones that hurting you, but you're being hurt from all directions? All those arrows is coming in from all directions. So if you put yourself in a situation, you ain't gonna think much about it. You're just gonna be like, it is what it is. They're gonna do the same thing that they doing. Why not? I be hurt, but it's not like I never been hurt before. It's I'm gonna feel that pain, but I already came into this situation feeling that pain. You're at that point where I don't even care. What's gonna happen is gonna happen, but while it's happening, I might as well, enjoy the moment. What really hurts is the fact that they don't care. They know you, they see you, they know you like an open book. They know everything that you're going through. You know, it's like walking past that person that's laying down, just like the one girl said. She was talking about her mom. Her mom know this guy, and this guy was scooting across the street. So he sold his wheelchair. He sold his wheelchair. That's his business. Why he sold his wheelchair, but it was his only means to get around. So he sold his wheelchair, and every single day he's scooting across the street. He's scooting across the street, but ain't nobody reaching out to him. They just driving right past him, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody hit him. That's how careless people are. You gotta keep watching your back, even if you're on the ground. He's on the ground. He can't even walk. He's crippled. But he gotta keep watching his back, being on the ground. All these people walking. All these people have the ability to just walk around, drive around, do anything they gotta do. But this man is on the ground, and he's hoping and praying that nobody hits him while he's on the ground. But he has no other choice but to be on the ground. And that's how life is. That's how my life is. I can't speak for everybody's life. I judge based off of my experience. And if you seem to be that light in my dark place, then I will bring your light. I will shine your light. I will shine on your story or how you impacted me in my life. I will make sure your light doesn't go dark in the midst of my darkness. So I am grateful for some people who are, who has helped me and been there for me, but I judge based on my experience. And throughout my whole experience, this is how it is. It gets no better than this, and it's not even good to even get better. Yeah, so we not. When were we? No matter what you like, I've told them. I've told them a long time ago. Like, that's why I said I don't repeat myself. I've told them while they treating me the way they treating me when I'm yelling out and I'm talking to them. I'm telling them what y'all doing to me and why y'all don't make sense. Why y'all always trying to come after me. An additional person to come after me. I'm always being attacked. It just don't stop. And I'm sitting here wondering why. I'm wondering why. But I'm at that point where I don't even care why, because people is going to be people at this point. And like I said, this is my experience and this is how I see it. People is going to be people. How I see them is how I see them. That don't mean you see them that way. But this is from my perspective. And this is how I'm being treated by my own family. And then I come out here and I'm being treated the same way as my family is treating me, which is, like a stranger. They treat me like a stranger, like I'm not blood. So it is what it is. And that's why I question my bloodline. That's just, how I feel about it. And I bring it up all the time, We all got our traumas. And that's one of my traumas, and that's gonna stay with me for the rest of my life because they ain't doing nothing better to make me think any different. I think this way and they okay with how I think. You know? I feel a certain way, and when it comes to me it doesn't matter, but when it comes to somebody else, it does matter. So what would you think? I'm not related to y'all. I can't be of no relation if this is how it is.
Yeah, that's great. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? It's every man for themselves at this point. That's what it is, though, and that's what I'm trying to accept every single day because I'm not. Well, I guess I'm used to it because of my whole life I just felt like I was always in it on my own. I was always in it alone. So it's just I'm in denial. I know what it is. I've experienced what it is. I've been through it, but I'm so in denial, and I hope every single day that I would break out of this phase of denial. I would just let go, and I wish I can let go. I hope that I can let go. I want to let go. But the question is, what am I letting go of? It's easy for somebody to let go of something when they know what it is they're letting go of. I don't know what I'm letting go of, so therefore I'm curious as to what exactly am I letting go of? What is this? If I know what it is, then boom, it makes it easier for me to let it go. But if I don't know what it is and I've been questioning it my whole life and it's here, how am I going to let it go if I don't know what it is? So yeah. And I feel like every single time this happens, it's just God telling me that I shouldn't even put myself in that situation. You know, constantly telling you, no, 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 smacking your hand, no, no, no. But I keep going back and I keep experiencing the same thing that I'm being told not to. Just because I don't know what it is that's wrong, you know. Why am I that person that's standing on the outside all the time? I need a why. And that's what everything that I go through. That's why I'm always getting in trouble with people. And that's why they don't understand me because I need the full story. I need to know why. And if you can explain that, you can explain why to me, then I go peacefully. I'm cool, okay. I know now. But if I don't know why, how the heck am I supposed to move on from this situation? It's like I'm having a problem, but you are the only one that knows how to get that solution. You're the one that knows the solution. And no, it's like having a problem, but everybody knows the solution. But then you're the one asking, and they can't give you the answer. And that's how they take your peace of mind. This is how they steal your peace of mind. Because they will let you go on and on and on and on and on, wondering about something that they know. I'm just having fun on this bike. But, like I said, I'm holding back. I'm just trying to keep myself together. Because I'm on edge. And I'm on the verge of losing it all. And this time, I put myself in a position of not being caught when I fall. So when I fall, the only thing that I can do is throw my son that parachute, and I will be the one hitting the ground. You know? Hello, Jesse. How are you? Is it Jess or Jesse? I know it gotta be Jesse. I got kicked out of church for asking why. Man, because some churches they let you ask why, you know, and going to another church that won't let you ask why, they looking at you like, did you just ask why? And that's why they call you heathen or something like that because you asked why. But if you don't understand, you have every right to ask why. It's freedom of speech. They can't hold your tongue, especially in church. They should understand that. But at the same time, they're not going to understand that because when it comes to the original Bible, you are not supposed to ask questions. You're not supposed to lean upon your understanding. And the fact that you're asking why, you're putting yourself out there for them to question. Like, hold on, we just said lean not onto your own understanding. You're asking me why. You're the devil. And then boom, they kicked you out, and that's why they kicked you out. Thank you. Thank you. I be freezing. Like that type of cold where it's a whole bunch of ghosts around you. Like you're in a haunted place. That's the type of cold I be. It be feeling like souls is just leaving my body. That's how I be feeling. But yeah, we gotta get out of here. At 5 minutes. I ain't gonna count that 5 minutes. I'm about to get out of here. Thank y'all for coming in, tuning in. Thank y'all for listening while I vent. Just to update on what I'm going through emotionally. So any videos that do come up, it will be based on this live. This live is this live is the blueprint going forward to any videos. So if it don't make sense, go back to this live and watch what I just talked about because going forward is clueless. And I am nervous because, you know, it's just real. Life is real and the pressure is real. And the people that you lose is real. And nowadays when you fall, you're falling alone. Ain't nobody falling with you. And they don't care about you enough to pick you up. So yeah. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, be notified to see my next video and my next upcoming live. And go watch my videos and like, comment, and subscribe on those two. And share at your own free will to show you care. If it resonates with you, please go ahead and share this video so anybody else can get get the message or get some type of message out of the message that you received. Talk to you next time. Bye.